Dan Fitzpatrick here at StockMarketMentor.com on February 16th. That's Thursday, one day before TGIF. And man, TGIF. Look, just a real quick one here on Apple. This is one that everybody's watching, and you know what happened yesterday. We had this big, massive puke fest here where the stock crescendoed on the upside and then immediately reversed. And this is what happens when basically the bottom drops out of a stock. It's not so much that the bottom, think about it this way, it's not so much that the bottom drops out of the stock, it's just that the top got heavy relative to the thickness of the bottom. I mean, you know, a thinner and thinner slice of traders were buying the stock. Finally, the last guy happened to get the stock at a whopping high of 526.29. Nobody was willing to pay 526.30 for it, and so then the stock went on its merry way, all to the downside. And by the way, in fact, let me get to a different chart. I want to show you something here. I showed this to some folks on Option Market Mentor a while ago. This was really the tell here, where you're looking here at this, at tight Bollinger Bands here, 3 standard deviations and 2 standard deviations. But you're looking at a real tight squeeze here, and then the stock started to kind of fall out the bottom, fall out the end of the squeeze. You know, it looked like water coming out of a garden hose or something. And then the stock was on its merry way. But I say that a lot about the merry way, but I guess so I'm being a bear, or was a bear. But then we got a big, massive sell-off right at the open today, and that was pretty much the end of that. So now where are we? Well, the low of the day here is 486.63. Probably the guy who bought the stock here at 526.29 finally decided to sell at 486.63, thereby reaffirming that that old adage that, you know, you can buy at the low exactly once and you can sell at the high exactly once in your trading career. But you can do the opposite as many times as you want. Buy high, sell low. Not the case here. Is, you know, that's not what we want to do. But this is actually setting up, I mean, intraday the trade was there when the stock was above 490 and didn't stay there for very long. But this is still a stock I think you want to be involved with. I would be really surprised. I'm not saying that it's not going to do this. And I mentioned this in yesterday's video, I think. I'm not going to say that the stock will not just, boom, move to new highs. There's just so much technical damage on such a massive volume spike to the downside. But I will say I doubt the stock's going to come down to test this level again, because there's no question the stock is still cheap. You can say what you want about the price action, but not too many folks are going to say Apple's expensive, at least not too many folks that I care to listen to. So fundamentally, the company is still cheap. This is just a price action trade. So I want you to ask yourself, if the stock does come back down to test this last low, how many folks are going to be looking to buy that test? My bet is there's going to be quite a few, because I think there's a lot of money managers that are still concerned that they're going to miss more upside in Apple. So anyway, that's it for this video. The thing that I just wanted to mention is this could very well be, and I'll say it again, I can't say for sure. I'm not going to make some bold market call, because that's not what I do, because I know you're going to put your money on it. But I think that this is your trading box right now. 490 on the bottom. I'd say probably about 520, maybe 525 on the top. We could see this stock trade around like that, you know, for another couple weeks as it drifts sideways long enough for the moving averages to catch up to it, because each day you're going to see the 20 march up fast, and then ultimately move higher from there. So I don't think you got to be in a real hurry, just a rush to buy Apple. But I do think that you want to own the stock, because after today's action, big volume, twice average volume, not as big as it was yesterday, but for crying out loud, who would expect that? But we got a big high volume reversal day. I think that gives us a sense that this is the low. The low's been put in, so this is an easy trade to make. You go ahead and buy the stock now. you keep your stop right down there at the oops, I think Dan was wrong level. If the stock falls down into here, you go ahead and take your loss, wait for a re-entry.